going to give you an overview, and I'm going to present the resolution in just a minute. But here's the important part, here's the directions. We are going to do this tonight for 20 minutes. So this is not going to just go on and on and on. If we hit that 20-minute mark and we're wrapping up, of course, people can always make a motion to extend debate. But that, it's going to stop at that 20-minute line. So Garrett, if you're around, you said you would be, keep in time for us. So, reason being, when we do stuff on Zoom, which is why I usually like doing this stuff on Zoom, we don't get booted out of the building, right? So, if things take longer, it's fine. But we're always working against the clock when we're here in person. So, the Dean will be presenting, and then we will have people take, this will be the pro line on this side, and we're going to keep it tight because we're going to go ahead and record this. So the pro side will be on the left, the con will be on the right, and people are going to be timed to make their debate statements in 1 minute. So you will have a minute. Don't make it too far because we're going to try to stay in frame.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So let's have a positive debate. Let's keep it positive and friendly. I'm not sure. It might not be a big thing. I know people have some strong feelings about what's going on in North Plains. So let's hear from Dean, and he will take the floor.
I'm going to stand off to the side so that I can look at the resolution as it's projected. I'm Dean Mober, and I'm a PCP neighborhood leader and a member of the Resolutions Committee. And a few weeks ago, like Martina said, the Resolutions Committee met and we voted unanimously to refer this resolution 2024-1 to the Central Committee. It's regarding Ballot Measure 34-327 and the expansion of the North Plains urban growth boundary. You might remember, I think it was back in February, the Central Committee looked at that ballot measure and we decided to take a neutral stand. Part of the reason we decided to take that neutral stand is it's a bit of a complex issue, the expansion of an urban growth boundary. This resolution, though, is not complicated. It's very simple. All it does is it asks the North Plains City Council to pay attention, to listen to the outcome of the vote of this ballot measure and what the citizens of North Plains want as far as the growth of their city. The reason that this is important is that there are those who have tried several times in the legislature and in the city council and in the courts to take away this ballot measure and to not let the citizens of North Plains vote on the expansion. The resolution itself, like all resolutions, has numerous whereas statements. They kind of sort out into three groups, and I'm not going to read them all for the sake of time here. But whereas statements A, B, and C have to do with the size of this expansion, which is basically more than doubling the size of North Plains. About 80% of that expansion is slated for commercial industrial use. Only 20% is slated for housing, and of that 20%, 70% is slated for single-family detached housing rather than affordable housing. The next three whereas statements, four maybe, D, E, F, and G, have to do with the land that's going to be taken out of farming. This is prime farmland. This is, I'm a soil scientist, so this is something near and dear to my heart. This is some of the best soil for farming in the world. And it produces food and fiber and sequesters carbon, provides wildlife habitat, which are all things that won't happen if it's paved over, turned into parking lots and server farms and warehouses. You may recall, some of you may recall, that the legislature passed a bill this year, House Bill 4026, which says that you cannot have a ballot measure to question a UGB expansion. The State Council for the legislature said that that bill was either redundant because if a UGB expansion is considered an administrative act, it's already illegal to have a ballot measure question. You can't have a ballot measure question an administrative act. That's the reason that many legislators voted for the bill, because they considered the council's opinion on that. There's other legal opinions, though, that say that UGB expansions are, or at least sometimes are, legislative acts, And ballot measures are enshrined in the Oregon Constitution that there is guaranteed to have ballot measures to question legislative acts. So which is it? UGB expansion, administrative, legislative? That's something, in my opinion, that's going to work through the courts, and that process has already started. So after that bill was passed, the North Plains City Council voted to direct their city recorder to take the ballot measure off of the ballot. There's a small grassroots group composed of rural residents, urban residents, Democrats, can I say the power word?
I mean, you know, sometimes.
Republicans, very diverse group, working together to urge the city to expansion is okay, but doubling in size this group says it's too much. And so they went to court, and the Washington County Circuit Court ruled that ballot measure will be on the ballot, and the ballots have been printed, so it's there. So all this resolution does is it asks the city council to pay attention to how the citizens of North Plains vote on this. So, two therefore statements. We urge the North Plains City Council to support allowing city residents to express their desires via ballot measures 34-327 in the May 2024 election. We ask that the North Plains Planning Commission and City Council carefully consider the outcome of ballot measure 34-327, and if residents vote against the proposed UGB expansion, make a good faith effort to modify the expansion, utilizing a process that includes both city residents and others concerned with the future of North Plains and the surrounding area. We tried very hard, and I think we succeeded to make this very respectful. We are not interested in criticizing the city council or the city planning commission. These are all good people who are trying to do the right thing. It's just, in my opinion, they're maybe a little bit out of step with what the citizens of North Plains want.
So do you want to just make your motion? It's very basic.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, so could you,
I'm going to type as you.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. I move that the Central Committee adopt Resolution 2024-1 regarding ballot measure 34-327 and the proposed expansion of the North Plains urban growth boundary.
I don't get the full, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure I have the title exactly.
Okay. Yes, so we do not need a second because this comes from committee. All right, I am not a great typist. Thank you for your patience. Let's see. Let's make sure y'all can see it. Okay, so I move that the Central Committee adopt, I'm just putting resolution 2024, that's, I think you can find the name, and the expansion of the North Plains growth boundary. So, now it's time for debate. If you would like to speak in favor of us adopting this resolution, you're going to be on the left mic. If you want to speak against, yes?
Point of order, the way the wording is, needs to be, it says, adopt the resolution and the expansion. It implies adopt the expansion.
Oh, okay,
And
that's true.
regarding the expansion is probably the word.
That's true.
Then you go. Change the word "and" to "regarding."
Regarding, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Is it questioning in order?
I think it was a point of order, yes, question, sure.
Yeah, you mentioned that the courts are working on whether this is administrative or legislative, is that correct?
And Dean, if you would stay, actually, I realized that clip, I don't know how well that recording's going, so kind of stay near the mic.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the Washington County Circuit Court decided that the ballot measure will stay on the ballot. And I assume that it will then work its way up through the legal system to finally resolve whether UGB expansions are administrative or legislative.
The court already said it will be on the ballot.
Yes,
Okay,
for this
thank you.
specific,
Thank you.
definitely, yes.
Okay, so, pro mic, con mic, I only see two for the con, so we'll start with con. So Dean made the motion, yes. I'll send this to you. Okay. so yeah, I'll go ahead and let Con start first since Brenda got some mic first and we'll go to the car.
Brenda Barati, I served on the ad hoc ballot measure committee, and I also live in Elevation, which is just a few miles from North Plains. This body voted to remain neutral on this ballot measure. And a reminder that there is no process that has existed for a citizen's ballot measure on UGB expansion. The resolution raises the concern of the loss of prime farmland. It's a legitimate concern. But any expansion will reduce prime farmland because North Plains is surrounded by it. The resolution notes that housing plan doesn't specify affordable housing. North Plains is outside Metro's boundary. It can't access the housing bond money for affordable housing. Most importantly, the resolution's two calls to action can't be implemented. Last month, Oregon passed House Bill 4206, which limits review of UGB expansions to the process outlined in the statute. This is now a state constitutional issue. The North Plains ballot measure will move to the courts, regardless of the results of the May vote. The courts will decide if the vote on ballot measure 3427 will be binding. The courts will decide on voter involvement in the UGB expansion process. For these reasons, I urge a no vote on this resolution.
Thank you. And just a reminder, so a no vote would just mean we don't support the resolution. That's it. We would just not have it. Okay, Pro, go ahead. Thanks.
I'm Dale Fee. I made public comment before the North Plains County councilors, before the Washington County Planning Commissioners, and before the Washington County Commissioners. The North Plains councilors, the mayor, and the city staff complained about people not living in North Plains making opposing comments to their urban growth boundary expansion proposal. I live in Forest Grove. I say, please vote to pass this resolution, urging the city councilors to pay attention to their residents, because they complained that the residents weren't being paid attention to. Please pay attention to your residents, and whatever the outcome of this vote is, please consider them in their decision making. So I support this resolution.
Thank you. Did you want to?
This one right
Yep.
here. My name is Valley Lim, and okay, can you hear me now? My name.
Real close, like it's an ice cream cone. You're eating ice cream.
Yeah.
I can.
Okay.
See the angle.
Yeah, as long as I don't sniff my nose. Okay, I'll start again. Valley Lim, and I don't necessarily support or oppose the resolution, but I would like to offer an amendment to it at this time. My amendment would be to remove item K of the resolution. And that, here it is.
I'll share it in a second.
Here, you can read it. Straight. Item K references a DPL platform claim, and it reads, we believe elected officials hold positions integral to a functioning democracy, and it's their duty to execute and honor the trust of their constituents by doing their jobs. We rebuke elected officials who denigrate the public or encourage corruption, voter nullification, suppression, and terroristic threats to our democracy. And I believe that language can be interpreted as offensive to the Democratic mayor of North Plains and other Democratic electeds. The Dems have made some progress in what has been a predominantly conservative city. And so I would just like item K removed. amendment. Thank you.
So that would mean right now that if we do any more pro and con, the amendment would be to remove item K. Just for a point of information, that was a direct quote from the Democratic Party of Oregon party platform. And when we adopted our Washington County Democrat platform, we said that, and I don't know, Garrett, if we did end up adding that language officially on the website. But
I haven't yet.
okay, so part of that platform convention is we said anything that we don't explicitly state in the Washington County Dem platform, we are conceding to that of what is said by the Democratic Party of Oregon. So I'm just giving you as a point of information. So why that was included is because we're just extending that our platform can extend out to what the Democratic Party of Oregon says, and that is a quote. So just for context. Go ahead. Yeah. So as I said, now any pro or con is about this amendment. It's not about the original
Yeah,
motion.
second, that needs a second.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
Thank you. So that was Garrett Rosenthal.
Hi, everybody. Garrett Flinor. I'm speaking in opposition. I was the one who added that line to the The specific element here, and yes, it is that plank in the DPO platform is rather pointed towards Republicans, specifically, who is trying to completely throw out results of the election. But to an extent, that's also kind of what could be happening here. We're holding an election, but there will be a vote. We are asking the opinion of the voters. It is happening in North Plains, and we need to respect that. Even if it's not going to be legally binding, we still held a vote. The will of the voters was asked, the opinion of the voters was asked, and North Plains should at least incorporate that opinion into what they're doing next after that election finishes. Not doing so is fairly undemocratic, even if it isn't binding, even if the courts come back and say, you know what, hey, this shouldn't have been on the ballot, we still ask their opinion, so we should still respect their opinion. And that's why that plank was included, because that was the most directly relevant plank. Specifically the voter nullification bit was the most directly relevant language of the DPO platform. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we really want people to pay attention to this and listen to it with some reasonable thoughtfulness. And if it's someone who this is pointed at, reads this, they're not going to listen to they're not going to read the rest of it. If I was the elected official that this is talking about, I would get to K and stop and never read another piece.
Thank you. Dean, did you want to speak in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for making that amendment. As Garrett said, the Resolutions Committee voted to put that in because it was pertinent, it was in the DPO. But, like I said, our intent here is not to denigrate the City Council or the City Planning Commission, and I agree that language could be construed to do that, to criticize them, and so I'm in favor of that amendment to take it out.
Thank you. Did you want to speak in pro or con
Pro,
to the amendment?
to take it out, yes.
Okay.
I agree with what Dean just said. In listening to the mayor of North Plains and the debate that occurred both at the county commission, well, mainly at the county commission level, there was quite a debate about accusations of not being fair and being very political about it. And people, the mayor took it very personal. As I evaluated that debate, talk, I think it is appropriate to take this out because we don't want to put fire on the flame. So I think we need to take this out of this resolution.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak in debate? Otherwise, we can go ahead and vote on the amendment. So the amendment would just be to strike all of K and move on then back to the original vote, which would be whether or not we want to support this resolution. Okay, I don't see anyone coming to the mic, so if you are in favor of removing item K, if everybody has their ballots, please raise your yes card.
How many no's?
Do you want to count, or do you want to just see the no's?
Can I just see the, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
this looks
obvious.
probably like it's
This looks
gonna
obvious.
take today, so do we want, look, if you are in opposition and you would like to keep item K, put the no up. Put your no up.
That's obvious.
Okay, so it looks like the yeses have it. So now, when we go back to this original amendment, you just understand that you would be voting for everything on this resolution except this. So whatever we would end up putting on our website, whatever we end up sending to the officials, would say everything here, but we would strike item K. So is there any more debate on the original motion? We're back to the original motion. Would anyone like to speak in favor or against the original motion? Alan, would you like to speak in favor or pro or con? Pro's on the left and con's on the right. Well, I should say my left.
My name is Alan Bennett, and I live in Aloha, so it's far removed from North Plains. I was raised in a farming community, so I understand the financial implications for the city of this proposal. But I worked in urban planning for over 4 decades, and I've traveled in Europe. I've seen, for example, how they do this in Switzerland. It amazed me, given my background, that when we were in Geneva, driving around in a very urban area, there were 6-story apartments pretty much surrounding the city. And right across the street from 5 blocks of skyscraper apartments was 5,000 acres of farmland, because back in the 17th century, they drew a line and said, this is agriculture, this is where people can live. And they haven't changed their mind. I think urban growth boundaries are one of the most significant
You have 15
requirements.
seconds.
I support the people's right to choose here, but agricultural land cannot be created no matter what Martha Stewart and Miracle-Gro say.
Thank you. So now we'll take a vote. I haven't seen anybody else come up. So if you are in favor of us supporting this resolution, what will happen is we would go ahead and post the resolution on the website, and I, as the chair, would send it to the relevant people in North Plains, just letting them know that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I assume that this is only voted on by the people in North Plains.
Yes, that's correct.
It's not a county-wide vote. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You want me to count this?
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Why this went away? So I'm sorry, we'll just have to do without this. So anyway, so this would be in support of basically what everything the resolution says. So if you are in support of us having this resolution, put up your yes card.
I'm gonna point at people and you just lower on this count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, got everybody on that table. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I already got you, John. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Okay. So that's 30.
31,
in favor.
sorry.
Oh, 31. Okay. And if you are a no, please raise your no card.
1, 2.
All right. So that means the resolution passes. Thank you so much. I think we did that really effectively. I'm really proud of everybody that we were able to stay on track. I really appreciate it. We can't do it. All right. If you've been with the party a long time, you will understand my jokes. If you were doing some party, it's a big deal. So anyway, moving along, we want to do our best to still get out on time and respect the needs needs of the people who work here tonight.